hit over here. Oh, seriously, I don't need the hiccups to start right now. Get my iPad up and going. Maybe. Come on.
Hopefully it doesn't freeze on you.
I know. I don't know why it likes to randomly freeze. We're gonna see. Oh, there we are. There we are. There we are.
Live?
Yeah. Shows we live. Shows we live. All right. I'll leave it on that screen for now, because that's where we will start today. Wait for some peoples to join us. We're a minute early, so well, now it's round. Give everybody time to join in. I know this morning I kind of started freaking out because the other day when the electricity went off, I didn't ever turn this computer back on. And so this morning I was trying to turn it all on, and then the screens didn't want to come on, and so I was like, oh no. So we restarted the computer, finally got the screens on, but then the microphone didn't want to connect, so it's been a tech morning this morning. Alright, who we got? Oh, let's see here. There we go. Mama's on, Antonio's on. Getting some people joining now. Teresa's watching. Hello, hello. Teresa and Mia. Mia joined us. Hello, hello. Give everybody a couple minutes to join in. Howdy, Mama. Mama's there. Yeah, I don't know if, because it's hard for me to read comments because they're over my video. I don't know if I turn it this way, maybe, if it would make it to where it's darker for me on the bottom or the side or something. I don't know. Hang tight with me, guys.
You have to, I don't even, can you lower it?
Ha! I can. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Now it's dark over there. Now let's just make sure that we don't interfere with our...
Well, if you put it back in front of your camera, it should.
Is it not going to be too tall? No? I guess it's okay. Yay. Now we just got to make sure it don't teeter-totter off the edge of the table. Hey, that's better. Because now my...
I don't see it on the dill.
Okay.
I don't see it overlapping.
Good, because now the top half is my, like what y'all are seeing, and the bottom half is dark, and I can read the comments.
Read them. Yeah.
Sweet, that works. We'll rock that way. Alright, I'm going to give everybody just another minute to join. I think it's probably just going to be y'all and me today. Although, did somebody disappear? Because it says we only have 2 watching, but Anthony, Mom, and then
whenever I got on
Teresa.
and Danny got on, it only showed that we had 1.
Oh, that's weird. So, somebody's not showing. Okay. Well, we'll give it another minute. Or half a minute now. See if everybody or anybody else wants to join this morning. And if not, we'll get started. We're going to be flip-flopping through 3 different layouts on my end. It should just be a seamless click for y'all, but things may change just a little bit, so just be aware that the outline will change a tiny bit depending on where we're at. So, alright. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. And if anybody else comes in, we can try to catch them up, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So, first things first, this sign that we're doing today, I have made files for the Hello Summer with the bee. So for this one here, I'm going to show y'all how to do the Hello Summer. I'm going to show you how to do the honeycomb up top here. But the bee drip and the little bees, I couldn't find any free images in Cricut that I liked for those 2 parts of this, and so I actually created the SVG for y'all. And so I need y'all to make sure that you have downloaded that from the Google Drive before we get started. So I'm going to run through that process first. If you haven't already downloaded this, follow along with me. If you have, just kind of hang out for a minute while we go through it. That way, if anybody watches the replay, they can also see where to get it from, okay? So, hang on just a second. Uh-oh, careful. There you go. Alrighty, so if you've already downloaded, just hang out with me. If you haven't, follow along with me. Okay, so you can see we're in the Create with Michelle Inner Circle group. That's where my Dropbox is. My screen does have a few little extra things since I am the owner of the Facebook page, so kind of ignore that left-hand side. But all of this here should be the same for you. It's going to be in featured. For some reason, some of y'all show featured right here, and some don't. I don't know if it's maybe the browser you're running on, but anyway, for sure you can get it from this featured right up here. So click on featured at the top, and then you're going to see our featured posts. Depending on how yours displays, you may have to scroll a little bit further than I do, but it will be in here. Scroll past the calendar. That's our watermelon kit part 2, and comments. For whatever reason, it's showing a bunch of them. So for me, it's right here. It's this third post. You're going to see the Create with Michelle subscription group files. It says Google Drive. This Google Drive will be where I put all of y'all's files in that y'all can go in and download and cut and use. And like I said, these files are just for us. Please do not share the files anywhere outside of our group. I create these just for y'all. So we're going to click on that where it says Google Drive. It's going to come to this folder here. If it doesn't look like this for you, right here you can change the views between the list and the actual like little squares. So if yours is clicked here and shows it like this, I personally don't like this view, so I always keep mine here where it just shows me basically the tiles of what's in here. So click on that. This right here is the acrylic sign files. So you're going to double click on that part, and then you'll be able to see my file that has the honey drip and the bee in it. So you don't even have to open it from here. Like literally you can choose these 3 little dots and say download. And when you do that, it'll download it to your computer. There's no need for any other extra steps or anything like that. You don't even have to open it. You literally just those 3 dots and download, okay? So once that's downloaded, you're good to go and we're ready to get started. So if y'all can comment for me, let me know, let me know if you have that downloaded and ready to proceed, and we will get started in Cricut next. Click over to our Cricut screen so we can get started. Downloaded. Perfect. Welcome back. Grab me a quick drink. Got lots of stuff on my table today, so I got stuff everywhere. Alright. Alright, Mom, are you with us? I know Mom's got it downloaded. I helped her walk through it. Ouch. I don't know why it's only showing 2 people watching. That is so weird.
Because you're on your... It,
I mean, I don't think it shows me because I'm the owner of the page.
yeah.
Because it's never showed me. But it shows you, and then it should show Teresa, and it should show Mom.
Well, I think it might be because we're on the same Wi-Fi. I think because since it's running through the same router. I think it's counting as one person.
Actually, it may not show me you anymore.
Oh.
Because
yeah,
I made
I'm
you
an
admin. That's why. I bet that's why we're only
That's probably
showing
why.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
I bet that's why we're only showing 2. Alright, Mama Son, have you, I know you got it downloaded, but are you ready to get started? Let me know you're out there and we'll get started. Alright. Oh. And I know y'all kind of see me halfway look into the screen in my little video screen over here, but I know it's a little awkward, but we're going to work through it. The main focus of this piece right now is just our Cricut piece. So that's what I want y'all to see the biggest part of. So make sure, now that we've got it downloaded, make sure that we are in the Cricut design space. Software, and then we'll go ahead and click right up here. We're going to click on new project in the top right hand corner, and that's going to get us started on a new project. It'll bring us our blank canvas up so we can begin. Yeah, and you're going to have to let me know if audio is okay because, again, my comments froze.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. I don't know why it does that. I get a few comments and then, or my closed captioning, and then it's gone. Alright. Oh, so sorry, y'all. Oh, goodness. Okay. So for those of you who have downloaded it, now we're ready to upload it into Cricut. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and Mom, I know we've already walked through the steps and you have your drip and your beat on the screen, so just leave those there. But everybody else, okay, so we're going to click on this upload button here on the left side. Going down our strip down the left, we're going to click on upload. Ignore all my uploaded files. You're going to see all my stuff that I'm working on. But we're going to click on upload image again, and you're going to get this screen here. You can do this two different ways. You can click on browse and you can find the file, or you can actually, and I don't know why y'all won't be able to see this part. It's not showing, I'm not doing like a whole full screen share, so you won't see my file folder come up, but wherever you have yours downloaded, you can always just come to it, go to your downloads, and then drag and drop it in. And then if not, you can always click this browse button right here. You'll still may not be able to see the file folder come up, but click on browse, locate your file in your files, whether that's in downloads or recents or whatever, and double click that, and it's going to come up to the screen. It's going to show you the preview of what it is that you're uploading. So of course this looks good. This is what we want. It's our bee and our honey drip, and then we're going to hit continue. This next screen is going to ask you to rename it or tag it or keyword it or put it in a new collection or all of those fun options we have now. It used to just be you named it and saved it and we were done. So we have a bunch of different things now, but it's already labeled or saved as the name that I named it. If you want it named something else, you're more than welcome to rename it right here. If you don't, you're good to go, and you just click the upload in that bottom right hand corner, that big green button. And now they have since changed the Cricut software. Now when you click upload, instead of it bringing you back to your list of uploads, it just automatically puts it on your mat for you. So that's where we're at right now. It automatically popped it in there for us, and there it is. So you're going to see this right now. It's totally okay. We don't need this right this second, but I wanted us to have it in here and prepared. So what I'm going to show you to do right now is actually how to hide something that's on your mat, okay? So we have this, we want this on the mat, but we don't want it just yet. So over here in our layers panel, you'll see all of your layers of all the stuff you have on your mat. It's going to always be listed in that right hand corner under layers. There's a little eyeball. If you put your mouse over it, you don't have to like click it or anything, just put your mouse over it. You're going to see this little eyeball right here. If you click that, it's going to hide everything in that group, or it's going to hide that layer, okay? So for right now, click that little eyeball. Let's hide those away for a minute, or for a few minutes, and then we'll get started designing. We're going to kind of start simple this morning. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our Hello Summer circle sign. And it's going to be with this cute little watermelon. That's what I needed the red, green, and the black for y'all. If y'all want this to say something else, that is totally cool. I want you to do what you want to do. I want you to have it say what you want it to say. So when we type our text in a minute, you can type whatever you want. Mine just says Hello Summer. I just thought it was something cute to put with a watermelon.
Teresa's computer froze.
Your computer froze. Okay. Yeah, we'll hang for just a second. Let us know when it's back up.
I don't know if it'll work on your tablet, but sometimes if I go from standing, well, is it disappearing at the bottom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like my closed captioning, like what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's froze. It's just like, nah.
I know sometimes if I
Flip it in the back.
flip it in the back, it stays on the sideways. And then the comments don't disappear. Because that's the most annoying thing. It's like, why would you have your comments disappear in just a black screen?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, I mean, because I can tap on them and it shows it back, but...
Yeah, but it's just annoying to have to tap.
To have to keep that... Y'all keep seeing my arm fly across the screen. Yeah. And I don't know if that's a setting. While we're waiting for Teresa's computer to behave, let's just see if we can... Turn off captions. Don't want them off,
Hey,
but...
hold on, where did you see that setting?
If you click on it, or tap on it, the three little dots come up. Save video, edit post, copy link, unfollow. Undo this change, rate, delete, turn off captions. Change quality, video, get notified, something went wrong. I don't know, we may play with that, but kind of see how it goes. I know it shows me 3's watching. Alright, Teresa, let us know when your computer is good to go. But we are going to start on this Hello Summer sign, the one that I had y'all get from Hobby Lobby. Circle Cast Acrylic sign will be the one we're starting on. So, if you want to go ahead and open this up and have this piece ready, this is where we're going to start. Everybody's having a good, or had a good week. It's Saturday. Enjoyed our weekend beginning. Oh, so sorry, y'all. I tried to go to bed last night and my brain would not stop. I was up until 1:15 working on some stuff and tried to go to bed and it still would not work. I read my Kindle for another at least hour after that and still was not tired, and I finally just put it to the side and said, you've got to go to sleep. And now my body's like, we need more sleep. You should have went to bed, or sleep when I went to bed, but you know, whatever.
Who needs sleep?
Yeah, sleep is overrated. How's it going, Teresa? Are we still frozen? Or are we working on it? How's it going? Got the drip and the bee on the screen. Now what do I do with that? Okay. So let me unhide mine right quick. So if your bee and your drip is on your screen, just kind of move it to the side, and then the little eyeball here to hide that layer. We're going to click on that to hide it for right now, because that's going to be something we use in a little bit. But with the new Cricut software update, instead of just hanging out in your uploads till you're ready, it automatically puts it on your screen. So just click on that, move it to the side, and hide it for now. Okay? Alright, is everybody ready now to move to the next step? Okay, perfect. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be working with this Hello Summer one first. Mine is already applied because this is the one that I did for the video, and I didn't go buy a whole nother one to have blank. Our arch one is, I still have it blank and in the package, so that one will be completely fresh. And I'm going to try not to confuse y'all by putting something on the back side of this one. But we're going to start with this one. What I do and the way I design, the way I have found it easiest for me to design, is whatever I am going to create, essentially I create that base in my Cricut. So what I mean by that is, this is what we're designing right now. So what I will do, that's what I forgot to grab. I forgot to grab my ruler. Hold tight. 1 second.
Which one are you going to pick?
Which one? Well, from when we used to teach in-person classes, we had 8 different rulers, so yeah. I got a bunch of rulers hanging out in there. Okay, so grab your ruler. And what I do is I measure my base. This one, it does tell you on the thing too that it's a 5-inch diameter. Not everything tells you the sizing, which is kind of weird, but not everything is going to tell you the size. Well, in fact, these don't tell you the size, so you have to measure them. But for our little thing here, we're going to pretend like it's not on our thing, okay? So on a circle, you want to get to the center of your circle and measure it from outside edge to outside edge, okay? So see if I can put my hands under here for y'all to see. Oh, yes. Sorry, you're not over top. Sorry. I'm used to having y'all above me. All right, here we go. So you can see I'm measuring from outside edge to outside edge, and we've got 5 inches across, okay? Yep.
I remember some math term.
Diameter. 5-inch diameter. Okay. So we know our circle is 5 inches, and when this is a circle, I mean, if you wanted to, you could, measure top to bottom. With the little sand doodad here, it's a little bit harder, but it is a 5-inch true circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, to our Cricut software, and right over here on this left-hand side again is shapes, okay? It's going to come up, you have your free shapes, and then if you're a subscription member, it's going to have your subscription member shapes down here. Everything I do, we're going to stick with free images whenever I teach these classes, only because I don't want to assume that everybody has the subscription. I want to use free images that everybody will be able to use and follow along. So we're going to stick with this top area here, and you're going to see too, this one here is a perfect circle. That's the one we want. This other one is an oval. We don't want an oval. We want a perfect circle, because that's what our blank is a perfect 5-inch circle. So click on that, and it's going to bring up a circle on your screen. It pops it up at 2 inches. We know that our circle is 5 inches, okay? So when this comes up, we're going to go up here to the size and kind of the top center bar that goes across. We're going to double click on the width. Make sure that lock is locked. Leave everything locked unless you specifically have to have a size that's not perfect proportion, okay? For this, we need a perfect circle, so leave it locked. Double click on the width, and then you're going to do your size. This is 5 inches. Sorry, my keyboard's to the side. 5 inches and then hit enter. So type a 5, and then hit enter. If you don't hit enter, it won't keep your sizing. So double click, type your 5, hit enter. And this creates our base for what we're creating today. Okay. Everybody good so far? We have our circle at 5 inches. You can just give me a thumbs up. You can say good. Whatever works for you, just so we know everybody's caught up. Yes, perfect. Thumbs up from Teresa. Perfect. All right, Mom, do you have your circle? Are we good to go with our circle? Anthony's good. Oh, Anthony loved it. Anthony's good to go. All right, Mom, if you've got your perfect 5-inch circle as our base, give me a thumbs up or a good or a got it in the comments. And the thumbs up, Mom, you should have like some blue icons or some little faces and icons and stuff. The little blue thumbs up dude, you can just tap on it and it'll tell me thumbs up for you if you don't want to type. I know Mom last time said her comments were like super delayed, and I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know if she knows about the little arrow at the bottom of her screen. Because there's a little arrow you gotta tap whenever you're sideways to make the image bigger. So there's this arrow at the bottom right of the screen that you should be able to tap. Then that should bring up the comments on there.
And where you can type a comment?
Where you can type or just hit the like button.
Okay.
And then to go back, it's still the same little arrow right next to live chat. I don't know if that helps me.
Can you see the quick things where you can like or love or whatever without tapping on the arrow, or
No, you cannot.
you still have to tap the arrow?
You'll have to tap it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up my live. Come on. I can see.
Pop said Nanny is good to go.
Okay. All right.
She's not able to get to the comments.
To the comments. Okay.
So.
All right. That's okay. I'm gonna set up Kelsey's old iPad for Mom, so that way it'll be more like this.
Yeah.
So it'll be easier for her next time too. Okay. All right. As long as we're good to go. Okay. So with our 5-inch perfect circle, it comes out as like the shapes I'll insert is this weird dark gray color. I always make mine white just so I know that's my base and it doesn't make any other colors or whatever look weird. So make sure your circle is selected. If you clicked off of it, click back on it to get the box back around it. And then right up here next to where it says basic cut, you're going to see this dark gray square. If you click on that, you can choose the other different colors. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to choose white and make it white, okay? So this square, choose the color to make it white. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to actually bring my keyboard over here since y'all are not above me just yet, so I can actually type. Okay, excuse me. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on images right over here on this side. It's the little like hot air balloon thing, and it says images underneath it. We're going to click on that. It's going to bring up this screen here to where we can search for what we're wanting to find. So for this, I want to find the watermelon. So I type watermelon and hit enter. And you're going to see it's going to bring up a whole bunch of them. But again, I'm going to we'll always use free images that are free at the moment that I create these, okay? Because they do change their free images. So we're going to type watermelon. I'm going to hit OK. It's going to bring this up. And then over here on this filters on the left-hand side, I want you to check the box that says free. Check the box that says free. Okay. When you do that, it's going to narrow down your options because there's not as many free ones as there are everywhere ones, okay? So this image right here is actually the image that we're going to be using. Now, don't freak out. I know it's not in color. It's all black. It's all going to be one layer, but it's okay. We're going to walk through how to break it up and how to change it for what we want today, okay? So let's go ahead and just click on that one. This one right here. Once you find it, we're going to hit add to canvas. Okay, so search for watermelon. Click on free to sort only the free items. This is our watermelon we're wanting to find. And then we're going to click add to canvas. When you click on this watermelon to add it, you should see that green square around the outside. Okay. You're also going to notice that it's going to show up in a little circle right here on the bottom. And that's going to be anything that's going to be in your project that you're going to insert. Once you have that, click add to canvas in this bottom right hand corner. And then it's going to add it to our canvas. Okay. And now this is what we see. Everybody a second to get that. Here goes my nose again.
And Pops, if you're still with Nanny, if she has any questions, you can just text me and I'll let Mom know.
Yeah. Done. Okay. Perfect. All right. So now this watermelon, because we're going to break it into 3 different colors, I need 3 of them on my screen, okay? So just follow along with me. Ask if you have a question. I'm going to go over it a couple of times and then we'll move forward, okay? So we have our 1, but we want it to be 3 different colors, black, red, and green. So we need to make 3. So click on your watermelon only, and then we're going to duplicate it. You can do that by two different ways. You can right click and duplicate, well technically 3 ways, there are short keys. So right click and duplicate, or you can do Control D like it's showing you on the screen there, or there's a duplicate button right up here above your layers panel. It's the one that's got the 2 overlapping boxes with the plus sign in the front one. So any of those ways gets the same exact result. I just need you to have 3 of them on your screen, okay? So with your first one, make sure it's selected, right click or Control D or duplicate above the layers panel to get us 3. Okay? have 3 watermelons on our screen and 1 circle. Cool. Okay. So now we're going to start with our first watermelon. And you can do this in any order. It doesn't have to be the first one, the original one, or the second one you duplicated. That doesn't matter. We're just going to pick one, which I'm just going to pick the first one on my screen. We're going to rock with this one for a second, okay? And what we're going to do is I'm going to just make the seeds with this first one. So we're going to click on this. Make sure your square is around it so you know it's selected. And then down here at the bottom of your layers panel, it's got like a dotted circle and it says contour underneath it. That's what we want to click on, because it's going to take out or add contour cuts, okay? So for this one, I just want my seeds to be this black part of the first one. So we're going to click on this outside, like the watermelon rind piece. We're going to click on that to take it off. And then we're going to click on the actual like watermelon, the red watermelon part, to click that and take that off too, okay? So now if you have your mouse like off of the cuts, you should see the rind part and the like actual watermelon part of it. They should be a light gray and your seeds should be a dark gray.
We gotta wait.
Wait, what? Okay. All right. So let me, oh, hang on. Let me undo. Doop, doop. Okay. So on your first watermelon image, we're going to start with the first one here. Okay, click on it. So if we're not, click on it. And then we're going to click contour. At the bottom of your layers panel on that right hand side, click contour. Okay, it's going to bring up this screen. And this is our contouring screen. Okay, now we're going to click on the watermelon rind, that outside, like just that line that goes around the outside of it. We're going to click on that to exclude that cut. So it should turn a light gray if you move your mouse away from it. Same thing with the watermelon piece. Click on that, and if you move your mouse away, it should turn a light gray. Did we get that? Okay. All right, so now we should just have our seeds that are the dark gray. The other 2 pieces should be a light gray. If that's what you're showing, click the X on the top right corner of your contour box. Okay, so this box that popped up, click this X right up here to close it, and you're going to see that it's just our seeds showing for this first watermelon image that we have. Okay, everybody good? Mom, if you need something, let us know, okay? Alright, so now let's click on our second watermelon that's on our screen. So it's going to be this one here. Right now it's showing a full watermelon. We're going to click on that one. And then we're going to click on contour again at the bottom. And it's going to bring this part up. Now this time, because we don't want those seeds and it's more than just 2 pieces that we're hiding, there's a hide all contours button at the bottom. If you click on that, it's going to hide everything except for 1 piece, because you have to have 1 piece of it, otherwise you would just delete the image, okay? So we're going to hide all contours. That's going to hide everything except that outside watermelon rind piece. And that's perfect. That's totally what we can do for this one. So hide all contours and then close the box. Okay, so here's what we have on our screen now. So we have the seeds and we have the watermelon rind. We're good on that. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. Mom, again, if you need something, let us know. You can have Dad text Bubba or whatever. Just let us know. All right. So for our third one, we're going to click on that one. We're going to go back to this contour. It's going to bring up this one. And then again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click Hide All Contours. It's going to give us our watermelon rind piece again, but that's okay. What we need to do now is click on the actual like red watermelon part and then click on the rind. So that way it adds our watermelon piece in there, but takes off the watermelon rind. And you can also do it right here. You can do it in this little panel that shows all of the cuts. You can click on the watermelon piece, it'll put it back in, and then click on the rind piece, it'll take that out. And then close it once again. So this is now what we have. Okay. All right. Teresa's got a thumbs up. Cool. Okay. So now for coloring, our watermelon seeds, we want those black. So we're going to change the color to black. It's a dark gray right now, and if you want to, you could leave it that. That's fine. That's not a problem. I like to color code all my stuff, so I'm going to turn those black. And then I'm going to click on the rind. And my watermelon rind, I want green. Okay. So I'm going to click on that box up there, and click on green. Okay. And then the watermelon piece here, we want that red. So we click on that, change that color to red. Okay. So now we should have our circle, our black watermelon seeds, our green watermelon rind, and our red watermelon slice. So let me know if that's where you're at. Perfect. Okay. Did you see one?
Yeah.
Welcome. Okay. So just right quick, you don't have to follow along with me on this part, but just right quick what I wanted to show you. Since we're doing this in vinyl, it's not going to matter because you can layer your vinyl on top of the vinyl for adhesive, and it really not make a difference. If you were doing something like this for a shirt, I would recommend on this red piece, when you're contouring, instead of, let me show everything, instead of hiding everything, I would just recommend hiding the outside rind piece to where it leaves your holes like that, to where you can actually put everything directly on the shirt. So that way it gets better adhesion and it's likely to stay a lot longer than layering up. Plus it keeps it not so thick. So just a quick tip if you're not working with the adhesive vinyl, okay? But for today, we're just gonna work with it right like that, okay? So just a quick tidbit. All right. So now we're gonna just kind of loosely put our watermelon together. We're gonna slide our red into our green. And this doesn't have to be perfect right now, because when we cut it, we're going to layer it all by hand. So don't worry about perfect fit right this second. It's more of just a fitting it back together to get sizing correctly. So you'll see whenever I went to put my seeds over here, it's going to hide behind my red layer. We don't want that. We want to be able to see our seeds, right? So a couple of things you can do. You can right click and bring it to the front, and that'll bring it to the front for you. Or you can also click arrange up here in that top bar area and say bring to front there as well. Okay, so one of those two options. Either way, that'll get them to the front to where you can kind of put them in place. Okay, let's go a little bit further that way. All right. So once we got our seeds to the front, our red in place, and our green in place, this is how it should look. And then we're going to group all three of these colors together, okay? Because we want them to move together on our mat, but we don't want them to cut together. So we're just going to group these, okay? So out in this empty canvas area that you see the squares and all in, click and hold your mouse and drag it over the entire watermelon and then let go. That's going to select all three of your layers of your watermelon. You'll see in that right hand layers panel, they all turn that like green highlighted color. That's what we want. And then we're going to click group. Okay, so group at the layers panel is right above here. You can also, again, right click and group. Whatever works easiest for you, just do that. Use that way. Okay, so now you'll see that it's a group. If you click off of it and you click back on it, it still all moves together. It's all one little bundle that's going to move around with us, okay? So what I want to do now is I want to put this on my circle. And we're going to see how it's going to fit on our circle. So for me, I want it just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to go over this corner and I'm going to drag it out some and then pull it back down here to the circle, the bottom part of my circle. It doesn't have to be the exact same size as mine. It's whatever size you want it to be. Mine right now is 3.79 by 3.32. But like I said, it doesn't have to be the same size. Just get it on that circle where you like it best. Okay, and then if you can, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to move forward. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to work on putting our text. So this is the part where, like I said, mine says hello summer. Yours doesn't have to say hello summer. It can say welcome. It can say howdy. It can say whatever you want it to say. Just make sure that it's not going to be a bunch of letters. It's going to take a while to cut and all that fun stuff, and that it fits nicely. This font, Trying to get my notes together. This font is called Carly. This is the only part that I'm worried about with for everybody, because it's so weird for the fonts, and not a lot of the free fonts are cute, but at least you can also use fonts on your computer. But to insert wording, what we're going to do is we're going to click on text, this T right here on that left hand side. Click on that, and it's going to bring up the word text on your mat. So I just type in hello. And since mine are going to kind of be, come back here, mine are kind of offset, I'm not going to type hello and summer in the same text box. I'm going to do hello in one, I'm going to duplicate it, and then do summer in the other one, just so I can put them where I want. So for right now, we've got hello. Whoop, I clicked off, but okay. So we're going to click on our hello. I'm going to go over here to the fonts. And I used Carly, Karley. And for me, it is a font that I have, but I am a subscription member. So I'm hoping everybody can have it. I really don't know. If you don't, I'm so sorry. Find a font that you like for the words that we're typing. And you can choose free, like when you filter, you can choose free. If I choose free, it's still going to show me all of the fonts because I'm a subscription member to the access. So even that gets a little complicated, but you can choose free if you're not, and it will show you all of the free fonts. So for me, I'm going to stick with this Carly font right here, Karley. If you click on it, it's going to change your font on your mat. Give it a minute, and then it'll kind of work through the little green bar processing across the top, and then it'll change. And then this is what you'll have. Okay? Are we good so far? Thumbs up. Okay. Okay, so for now, I'm not worrying about sizing right this second. I'm going to duplicate our hello. So I'm a right click person, so I right click and do a lot of my stuff. So right click and duplicate. You'll get 2 hellos now. But if you double click, we can add our second word. And like I said, if you're typing something different, that's cool. Get your words, and then we'll be good. So now we should have hello and summer if you're doing hello summer with me. Everybody a second to get there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is move our words onto our circle. That actually ended up being pretty perfect size-wise. They ended up being pretty perfect sizing-wise, but if you need to change your sizing for whatever, follow along with me for just a second before you start sizing and stuff, okay? Because I want my words to be the same size for both of them. I don't want to just size one and then have to go, oh no, wait a minute, what size? Check the size. No. So we're going to undo that because I don't want to do that. You're going to select both of them by clicking on one, hold down your shift on your keyboard, hold your shift key, and then click the other one. And then you can let go of shift, and they should both be highlighted over on that layers panel on the right. Okay? So click on your first word, hold shift on your keyboard, click on your second word, let go of shift. They should both be highlighted. And at this point is where you could then drag your little sizing squares in or out to be whatever size you want. Okay? How are we so far? We good? Perfect. Okay. All right, so now we're actually ready to cut and put together our Hello Summer. So this base circle that we created, we don't need to cut it because we already have a circle. We don't need to cut a circle, okay? So we're gonna click on our base circle and we're gonna hide it. So we're gonna use our little eyeball again and hide that one. Once you've got that hidden, we are ready to save. I always recommend saving before you go to cut, because if something freaks out You don't have to start all over, okay? So we're just going to say acrylic signs. I'm going to do 6, 8, 24, just so it's something different in my system, or in my account. Okay, so once we've got it saved, we are ready to make it. So we're going to hit make. Turn on my Cricut right quick. I'm going to grab my mat because we can't cut anything without the mat. Okay. Shoot, hang on one second, ladies. I forget that the text is also in that dark, weird gray color instead of black. So cancel. Go back to your lettering. Sorry, ladies. And let's make both of those black. And if you want them to stay exactly where you have them spaced and everything wise, you can even click on the paperclip attach at the bottom of your layers panel, and it'll keep them exactly where you have them. So sorry, I forgot about that. My bad. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. And then we can save it again. Just hit save and say save. And then now we can make it, and now it should put our words and our seeds on one mat. Sorry about that. Now whenever it came in, my seeds were awful close to my Hello Summer, so I just clicked on them and scooted them over just a little bit to give me a little space. But if you click through, you should see all 3 colors are ready to cut. They all look good. Got me some spacing. So now let's hit continue. Alright, so for the colors I recommended, for this one we're using just a green, a black, and a red. Nothing fancy, nothing special, just green, black, and red, okay? My first one is black, so we're going to do that first. Let's see. I have it in the top corner, so we're going to put it in the top corner. So whatever your first mat is, because it may not always be the same as mine. Mine's black. So whatever your first mat is, get your vinyl on your mat. If you're just using the regular on your machine, you just want to turn your dial to vinyl. If you have to select, like if you're having a maker, or if you have the Explorer 3 that doesn't have a dial, just choose your everyday.
How did you get the words to stay together?
Click the hello and the summer or whatever your words are, and then click attach, that little paper clip. Click attach and they will stay together. I'm going to cancel out of this for just a second. Okay. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Ah! There. Weird. I didn't want to download the whatever thing. Yeah, so. Your words. Let me detach mine right quick. So you can click on one, hold your shift key, click on the other one, and then click the attach little paper clip in the bottom down here. It's right below your layers panel. It says attach. That's where you'll click on that and it'll keep them together. Are we good? That way when you go to make it, they should be together. Good, okay. All right.
Oh, did you see them?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was like, you ain't scooch. Yeah. Okay. It's going to reconnect to my Cricut. Like I said, my first mat is black. You go off of your first mat. It may be a little bit different than mine. It may be the same. I don't know. It like randomly chooses what order it wants to go in. And I have here at the store, I have my Explorer. It has a dial, so my dial is turned to vinyl. If not, you need to choose it. I have mine set up before they started adding all these fancy things, so mine still says vinyl, but I believe it says outdoor premium vinyl if you have to move your dial. Okay? Alright, I'm going to load my first mat. Again, when you're loading your Cricut mat, the mat goes under those little guides on each side, and you give it a little push when you hit the load button. When that C starts flashing, hit the button, and it's going to cut it out. That one's done, so hit my unload flashy button. Take this off. Again, if you don't want your vinyl to look like a burrito when you're pulling it off, turn your mat upside down and pull your mat away from your vinyl instead of your vinyl away from your mat, okay? My next color is red. So we're going to go with the red here. Alright, y'all are going to see me move my vinyl or my cut over just a minute because I'm using a scrap piece, and so I'm going to click on edit and I'm going to move this over, let's see, to about the 4-inch mark. So my vinyl starts just a little bit before my 4-inch mark, so I'm going to move my cut over to my 4-inch mark so it still cuts on my vinyl, and then done. Because I know not everybody's always going to have a full piece of vinyl to use. So if you need to move and rearrange, you can rearrange where it's going to cut. Red and green is going to go pretty fast. They're pretty simple. Let's see, my green. What? Are you laughing at my spare piece of green?
No.
Alright, we're going to edit again. See if I can't fit this little run where I need it to be.
I mean, it works. But...
Actually, I think it's going to be pretty good because it's going to cut right around my little opening. Huh. I'm telling you, I'll use my scraps when I absolutely can. As you can tell by this green piece that I'm cutting this on. There's not a whole lot left, but it still works. Oh no.
Is it too...
I didn't look at the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's alright.
What did it cut?
I missed like the very little outside curve. Boop,
Oh.
is what it missed. Darn. Okay, that's okay. So we'll cut it down here. So let's go 5 and the 4 mark. Let me sit back down for a second. Edit. So there's my 5. 3. So 1, 2, 3. So 5 and 2 mark, it's on the inside of that. 5 and 3 mark, it's on the underside of that. So it'll cut right there. Okay. Done. And that's where we want to cut. I didn't pay attention to all my curves. I think if I had like turned it a little bit, rotated it a little bit, I could have gotten it there. But it's okay. It's all good. I'm not perfect either. All right. Woo! Almost failed. Hit the wheel. All right. Grab scissors. Okay, so let's cut this piece. There we go. Goes to the side. I'm just gonna go cut around my cuts, like not exact or perfect around, like literally I'm just kind of making a outside square or rounded cut on the outside of them. So this is what we have. We have all 3 of our cut pieces. So let me know when you've got this. So once we've got that, we'll switch to the overhead and we'll start assembling this one. Get my area ready for the overhead. Got all kinds of stuff everywhere now. I'm debating on what I want to do because this is going to be double-sided on mine. Oh, not that one, this one. Let me see. I don't want to confuse them by having mine on my other side. So I'm gonna just cut out. I'm gonna cut out my 3-inch circle that I had as my base right quick. Actually, I'm gonna go in just a little bit. I mean, not my 3-inch, my 5-inch. I'm gonna go 4.75. Make it in just a hair. Y'all don't need to do this. It's just so I don't confuse y'all by having a double-sided side. So y'all just get your red, green, and black cut out. And then let me know in the comments when you are ready.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Okay, I see.
Yeah, because when I turn mine over to put it on the back side, you're gonna see my other side.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I don't want to pull this off because I mean it's perfectly good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Wow. Normally I would have a blank project to go along with y'all, and for everything else I will. It's just I did not go buy another circle. sign.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna get this prepared while y'all are getting y'all's red, black, and green cut out. And then be ready to go together. Put a little closer so I can actually see where I'm lining this up. Alright, how's everybody doing? Are we cut and ready, or we need a minute? How we doing? Alright, I'm gonna switch us to overhead. There we go. What? Comment ready when you're ready. Or you can give me a thumbs up. I am where I can see. Okay, perfect. Teresa is ready. Okay. Mom, if you're not ready, shoot Anthony a text. Or have Dad shoot him a text or something. Let us know. But let's go ahead and weed out all of our pieces. Use a weeding tool for the letters and stuff. For my big pieces, I just take my finger and start that corner and lift them up. Even for my seeds and my seeds and my letters, I'm gonna weed those main parts out first, and then I'll grab my weeding tool and weed out the insides. There it is. Since I have a silicone mat as my base here, it doesn't weed too well, so I grabbed one of these little green cutting mat things from the Dollar Tree. It really comes in handy. It gives me a sturdy base to weed instead of my weeding pick going all the way through my vinyl and my silicone mat, because it's not hard, it's just a soft surface. So we'll get both of those weeded out. I think I broke the tip of my weeding pin, or my weeding pick, because it's not as pointy anymore and it doesn't hang on to anything as I'm weeding now. It just kind of slides it out of the way. So, there we go. Making it work.
Sorry, scratch my leg.
Alright. Alright, there we go. Okay, so we've got everything weeded. I'm going to cut my seeds apart from my Hello Summer words. Okay? I'm going to grab a piece of transfer tape. That's what I'm going to do. Need that. Yeah, here's a piece of the good stuff. Let's see. Typically don't like to cut my transfer tape, but I'm just gonna be easy because I don't like cutting my transfer tape into a bunch of small little pieces. Okay. Everything weeded, are y'all ready to put this one together? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Thumbs up. Sweet. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our transfer tape and we're going to start with our green piece, okay? Actually, no, we're not. I take that back. My bad. We're going to start with our watermelon seeds. When you're putting your transfer tape on your seeds, don't do it. I just didn't drop it. Luckily, it didn't stick. Don't go to the corner because you need space for your watermelon and your watermelon rind, okay? So make sure you're giving yourself enough space on your transfer tape for everything to fit. So I'm going to kind of just put mine loosely together. Just very loosely together. Okay? And then just kind of make sure that I'm going to have enough space. Okay, so for me, I'm going to keep it in this section here, okay? So I'm going to take my seeds. Get it in that section. We're going to stick that down. Okay. Transfer tape on our watermelon seeds. Then we're going to turn it over. Squeegee it again. Bring my mat back because it's just squishing into my silicone mat. And then we're going to lift the paper backing away from the transfer tape. Okay? So watermelon seeds on our transfer tape. Then we're going to grab our red watermelon piece. And this is where we're going to line up our watermelon seeds carefully over the top of our red watermelon. Just kind of hold it above until you see where you want them. And then you can just lay them down. Squeegee it on. So carefully line it up above it. Since transfer tape is transparent, you can see through it. Just carefully line it up and then squeegee down. And then again, turn it over. You can squeegee on the back if you need to. And then pull the paper backing away from the vinyl. And we're going to grab our green one. Okay, so far we have the seeds on the watermelon. And our rind is down here and ready. Everybody a second to catch up. Seeds on the red part of the watermelon. The rind ready to put our watermelon inside. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to carefully do the same thing. We're going to line up our watermelon inside of our rind. Make sure you've got your curve on it to where kind of the straight parts match up. Squeegee that in. So now we should have our completed watermelon. Over, squeegee the back. Okay, and then we are going to pull this away, but don't get rid of your backing from that watermelon rind, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to loosely put that back on the edge of our watermelon so we can see where our watermelon is, okay? We want to be able to see where that watermelon edge is. Now we've got our watermelon all on our transfer tape, and then the backing of our watermelon green piece loosely on the back, but where we can still see our green, okay? Perfect. Alright, so on mine, I kind of have it in this bottom corner like we designed it. So, we want to line this up in that bottom like our original. Kind of get it lined up, get it where you want it to be. Let's see, I think I'm gonna angle mine just a little bit. Oop. Just a little bit more. Okay. So I'm going to try to use the transfer tape to kind of hold it in place where I want it. Okay, so my transfer tape is stuck to the whole sign, so it holds it where I want it. And then we can lift the transfer tape up. Take this paper backing off, and at this point you can just smooth it down. Then use your squeegee to put it in place. Okay. Do we need to take off the film on the blank? Yes, I am so sorry. Yes, you do. I already took mine off and I forgot about that step. Yes, you do. I am so sorry. Yes, it has a film on both sides. So be sure to remove that film on both sides of your blank. Well, you can just do it on one side right now, whatever side you're working on. But yes, remove that film. Thank you for asking. I hope nobody stuck your design to your film. I'm so sorry. And I got mine a little higher up than I really wanted, so I got a gap down here, but it'll be okay. It'll be alright. Mm-hmm. Got a sinus headache.
Every time I hear that song, I always go back to Shark Tales.
Oh.
Is it Shark Tales?
Shark Tales, yeah.
Yeah, Shark Tales.
Mm-hmm.
With Will Smith thing.
Yep.
Yeah. You're not the nobody, Halloween. It's a great movie.
Yeah, we actually got the Bob Marley movie, and it's good too.
Oh yeah, I need to see it.
Yeah, it's good too. Alright, let me know or give me a thumbs up when you have your watermelon on your blank. And my blank is white, but that's just so I didn't confuse y'all by having the other on the other side. So cool. Okay. So now we're ready to put our words on. So the words, they're attached, they're already where we want them. So this is pretty easy. Just our transfer tape over our words, squeegee front and back. Alright. Using a used piece of transfer tape so it's not super sticky, but we're going to make it work. Stay down. There we go. Okay. Once you've got your words on your transfer tape, make sure your sign is straight. And then just align them where you want them. When you're ready, drop it down, squeegee them on. And then remove that transfer tape. And we have our first sign. Woo. If you want yours double-sided, whoop, or if you want something else on the other side, all I did literally is just use that circle that we made our blank base at. I just reduced it by 1/4 inch so I had a little bit of a rim, and then cut it out. So this is 4.75 inch white circle. So you can see.
You can do any color you want to.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to, any color.
Yep.
You make the watermelon any color you want to. It doesn't even have to be a watermelon.
Yep. This is just the design I'm teaching y'all with. This literally can be used across the board with whatever. Like I said a while ago, if you were doing this on a shirt, same concept, just cut the seeds out. But yeah, whatever design you want to go with.
Even if you want to put a family photo on there too.
Yeah, if you want to do a print and cut, you sure could. So
whatever your heart desires.
That is our circle sign. How's everybody doing? Did we make it through? Did we get through our circle? Yeah! Thumbs up. Sweet. Okay. So, is everybody ready to move to the next thing? We're just going to do probably just 3 today because we've already been on here for an hour and a half. I don't want to take everybody's Saturdays. So we've got our Hello Summer done. So next, do y'all want to do the large rectangle acrylic or do you want to do the arch acrylic? Which one do you want to do next? Let me know. Ooh. I'm so sorry. Cannot keep the yawns at bay. Rectangle. Okay. All right. So this is what we will do next then. I got a bubble in mine. I'll get my bubble popping pen. Alright, so this is what we're going to do next. Since this is what y'all want to do next. So, I'm going to switch back to Cricut View. And move some of this stuff over for a minute actually. That way I can bring my keyboard back over here before we can get to it. Alright, so Cricut. Okay, so if you're still on this screen on your Cricut, go ahead and you can click done, and that way it just gets you back to your designing screen. I'm going to get it back to kind of what y'all should look like for your designing screen. Okay, so whenever you come back to your designing screen, this is what it should look like for you. I would suggest unhiding your circle and having your whole thing show, well, hold on one second. And make my circle the same size as y'all's. There we go. I would have your circle show, your Hello Summer show, or your wording show, and your watermelon. And then select all of those. And let's just go ahead and group them together so that way they stay together, since we're fixing to hide it and I don't want to have to move a bunch of weird stuff around. So let's just go ahead and select them all, group them together, and then we're going to hide that group, okay? So now for this one, since this is a rectangle, we're going to insert a new shape instead of our circle that we were working with a while ago. So here's our rectangle board. Again, you would measure it, wherever my ruler ended up going, here it is. So you would measure it side to side. Outside to outside is 10 inches if you're doing long ways. And then this other way is 8 inches. This is an 8 by 10. So I'm going to be today for the B one, we're going to be working with it up and down. So we want our shape to be a square, and we want it to be a true square with the 90-degree corners, not the rounded one, okay? So we want a true square. And since we need this to be an 8 by 10, we will unlock that lock momentarily. So select your square, unlock your lock. So it should show unlocked at that point. So we've got our square selected, our lock unlocked, and then for our width we're going to do 8 and hit enter, and you're going to see that it's going to go 8 by 2. Okay, but this is an 8 by 10. So for our height, we're going to double click that, type 10, and hit enter. And you'll see we get our full 8 by 10. Everybody with me there? Thumbs up if we're ready. Sorry, is T the rounded corners or without? T. We want the square corners on this one. So when you're inserting your shape, you want to choose this one right here, the actual square with the squared corners, not this one. We want this one right here with the squared corners, because our board is squared. Okay. And this is literally how I start every project of mine. I always make my base, whether it's a cup or a shirt or a circle, sign, or, even if I'm doing, even if I'm doing like a name on a cart or a name on a window or something like that, I always start with my area that I want it to be at. Well, maybe not a shirt. I don't really do that for shirts, but if I'm working with a solid surface or a specific size surface, I will always start my projects like this. So I always make me a starting base point. Alright, so with this, again, I like my bases to be white. So I'm going to select my square, change the color to white. Okay. Now for this, we are going to use our honey drip and our bees that we inserted at the beginning. Right now, remember they are hidden, so we want to unhide them so we can use them now, okay? So our bee here, it should say bee sign drip or whatever you named it if you renamed it. Go ahead and click your eyeball to unhide it. So we've got our pieces back here. Okay. So find your bee sign drip and unhide it to bring it back to our mat. Okay. So now what we're going to do is this is kind of where I'm going to start. And again, it's behind our base. So remember, like we did a while ago, right click, bring to front. And then it's in front of our base. Okay. Give me a second to bring it to the front. And now what we want to do, because we want to be able to move our bee separately from our honey drip, we're going to ungroup these. So make sure it's selected. And then click on this right up here at the top of our layers panel and ungroup. Okay. So now you should be able to select them separately. I'm going to take my bee and I'm going to move him to the side for a second. And I'm going to work with my honey drip. So because my honey drip, I want it to go all the way across like I did on this one. Remember, it's all the way across. I'm going to change it to 8 inches wide. But I want to leave the locked this time, okay? Because I don't want it to be out of proportion. So I'm going to click on my honey drip. Okay. We're going to make sure this is locked. Keep it locked. On the width, because I'm worried about the width right now, we're going across our board. We're going to type 8 and enter, since this is an 8-inch wide. Okay, so now when we move that to the top of our board, it goes all the way across our board like we want it, okay? Lay that there for a minute. All right, everybody there, give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Okay. So now, what I want to do next, we're just going to keep going with our honeycomb, honeybee drip, or honey drip at the top. Now we're going to create these guys here, okay? So our little honeycomb piece is what we want to create now. So we're going to go to images, and we're going to search this time for honeycomb. And again, check this free box. So it limits the results that it returns. Where's the one I used? Oh, they're there. Okay. Oof. I scared myself for a minute. I was like, I already changed it. No, I don't need it to change. So search for honeycomb. Click on free. And then scroll down just a little bit if yours is the same as mine. And we want to find this one right here. It's going to have the 3 honeycomb outline pieces, just like these, okay? And we want to click on that. And that's what we're going to use. Ooh, just scratched myself at the corner of my board. That's what we're going to use for our board here. So click on it, make sure it's got the green box. Make sure it shows in the bottom circle. That's going to insert and hit add to canvas. Is everybody there? Give me a perfect. Okay. So now you can see they came in super small. We don't want them that small, okay? So we're just going to drag, actually I'm just going to type. We're just going to start with 2 inches. So I'm just going to type 2 inches up here in our little thing. That is super small. Oh. Why does it have it writing on? What in the world? Oh, what did y'all do to me? Hang on. doing? Free. Oh, I do see the pen there now.
Did you get the wrong one then?
Hang on, y'all. Where did it go?
Did you do the other one but made it like an outside cut instead of an inside?
No, it had the... It was these pieces, but it was just the cut file, not the write file, the writing pen file. Okay, so I guess they did change it on me. Okay, well, unintentionally y'all are gonna learn something a little extra today because the one that I used is no longer here for free. Okay. Alright, so sorry. Cricut changes things and I don't know that they changed until I come in here, and I literally just did these just a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago. Alright. No, it was a week ago because I went live a week ago announcing these classes and they've already changed it on me. Okay, so I apologize. Delete these ones that we just put in here. Delete those out. Delete. I'm so sorry. And then we're going to go back to images. Go ahead and search for honeycomb. Maybe that's what I did. Is it 2 words? And free. Doing some trials. Nope.
Still going up the same.
So stinking weird. Okay. Go back to search, go back to free. We're going to choose this solid one at the very top right here. And we'll create our own outline piece that I used. Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Improvisation.
Yep. All right. So insert that one solid one. So what we have is this. Move my B out of the way. Okay. So we have this piece now. What we're going to do to create this offset right here is we're going to have our honeycomb piece selected that we just put back in here. We're going to go up here to offset, and we're going to choose this option right here because we want to keep those pointed corners. We don't want it to round out and look funky. We want it to stay those exact points, okay? So click your image, click offset at the top, choose this squared off offset corner type. And then it's at 0.25 inches. I think that's going to be okay because by the time we reduce it down, I think it'll be a good, nice border. So go ahead and hit apply. You'll see that it made like a dark gray back around our gray honeycomb piece. That's what we want. Okay. Is everybody following along with me? Are we here? Go back over that. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So let me just delete this one. Okay, so we've got our honeycomb piece here. Make sure it's selected. Go up to offset. Choose this option here for the squared off offset instead of round. Leave it at the 0.25 size. And hit apply. And that gets us this. Did we get that part? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slice these two. Okay. So we're going to take and we're going to select both of these. Highlight both of these pieces. Click hold drag. Click hold drag. And then we're going to hit slice down here in the bottom of our layers panel. Keep in mind when we're doing slice, you can only slice 2 layers at a time. And then we can delete these 2 solid pieces. We just want this outline. So these 2 solid ones go bye-bye. Okay. Are we there? Okay. Hold tight for me just a second.
Something happened somewhere. Yanny's not able to hear us.
Oh no.
So,
Okay. Teresa, can you hear me?
audio's fine on my end.
On your end, you're good? Okay.
So, I don't know what happened. Pop said she's gonna have to start over.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'll get Mom caught up if we need to in a second, or in a few minutes. Okay. Alright. Yes, yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna size this piece here down, our honeycomb piece. So we're gonna take and we're gonna just make it smaller. I'm just dragging it in, not specific anything right this second. And I want to get it over here on our honey drip to try to get a sizing. Okay, so this one, I kind of have like 3 layers. I know this third one doesn't go all the way across, but we kind of want to size them to where we have enough for 3 layers. So right now it looks like we're still a little too big. So let me go down a little bit more. And let's see. Let's start it with maybe 1 inch wide. Okay. So with it being 1 inch wide, that's kind of where we've got it. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this one so I can kind of make my 3 layers and then kind of see where I need them, because I know they're not 1 inch here. They're more like, well, they're between 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate what we've got. So we're going to duplicate. So you're going to get another one. And then we're going to duplicate it one more time because I want 3. I want to be able to size this, okay? So I'm going to size these 3 to kind of make my 3 layers that we're doing here. This is kind of what I want it to look like. So this is what I'm sizing it to.
Well, the design's not exactly matching that one, but
It's not, and I'll tell you why.
yeah, because it's the different.
When I cut this one originally, I forgot to flip my gold. When I cut it, because I was putting it on the back, I didn't mirror it whenever I cut it, and so it is backwards. So excuse my backwardsness, but we're gonna pay attention to the honeycomb part here on top. Yeah, I screwed it up. I forgot to flip. I know, you're seeing it this way. See? It matches that way with that way. I know, it's weird.
No,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, no,
It's
it's
backwards.
just in my brain. It's not making sense.
I know.
It makes sense. It's just it's.
Yeah, I just forgot to mirror it. So.
Are they supposed to touch or not?
No, they don't. You don't want them to touch. You do want them to have some space. kind of hold this here for a second since y'all can't see my overhead. But you do want them to have some space between to where that gold shines through. You want them to have space between them. So, let's see what we got here. Oh, stop that. Click off. Nope. Too far off the edge of my mat. It gets harder whenever you're working with small things to click on them. Alright, so I think I want them a little smaller still. I'm gonna go kind of off of my sizing I did for this one. It was a little over 1/4 of an inch, so I'm gonna highlight these 3. And whenever you have them layered on top of something, you can't really highlight and drag because it's gonna select everything. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna click on my first one on my layers panel. I'm gonna click on the first one, hold my shift key, and click on the other 2. Okay? That way it highlights all 3 of them. And I'm going to make them a little bit smaller on my screen. Okay. I think that's a little more what I want. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Do you what?
Do you see what I meant?
Yep, now I see what you meant.
Because they're sideways.
I inverted them.
So you need to turn them, like you need to flip them down, basically. Because your point isn't facing the bottom on those, your point is facing
the bottom.
Or your points are facing up and down, not
yeah.
Sideways. That's what I was trying to explain.
Okay. I see where you're at now. No, you're good.
I didn't.
Yeah, and then I have them differently.
It's just throwing us off because they mess with our. They messed with our honeycombs that we had originally.
They did, yeah. They messed up what I usually.
Us off a little. But that's okay. It's okay.
They messed up what I did have. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. And you can actually. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Highlight your honeycomb pieces, whichever pieces you have, and we're gonna rotate them. Where's my rotate? Right here. We're gonna rotate them 90 degrees. So highlight your honeycomb outlines that you have. We're gonna rotate in the top right here. Double click this rotate number, and we're gonna go 90 degrees and rotate them around. Because yes, I see what Anthony was talking about now. We did have them. The new honeycomb we were using is the wrong way. I was like, why is it not fitting the way that I expected it to fit?
Yeah.
There we go. I don't like when they change my designs. I'm trying not to confuse y'all. I'm trying not to. I'm sorry.
Cricut has confused us.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened? My stuff is not there. My stuff is gone. Okay. And it's still.
Oh, you put you need the T-squares folder first. If you're doing exactly like the other one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, I think we're getting there. And this is just a loose, don't rotate. This is just a loose fit for right this second, okay? Because we're fixing to do some duplicating and aligning. I'm going to delete that 4th one I put in now. Okay. Okay. Alright. Teresa, are you... I'm so sorry.
Are you with us?
Are you with us? I don't like that they messed up my design that I just did a week ago. Because I can't wait until the day before to make all these designs, because then y'all don't know what you need. So, all right.
We got there.
Yeah. Are you here? Are you at this point where we are on the screen right now, Teresa? And Mom, if you were able to catch back up, if you can hear me, I see you joined back, but let me know if you are where we are.
I was just, that's the...
You were looking at the
actual
honeycomb outlines, yeah.
outline of the honeycomb, yeah. I was trying to explain it, I was like, well, that's not...
That's not what I was talking about, Mom.
Sometimes I know...
I can hear you now, and when I'm glad you can hear me now, Mom. We'll get Kelsey's old iPad set up for you, and it'll be much better.
Yeah. So it's just something.
Trying to get them to fit the honey now, but they are rotated. LOL. Okay. I'm so sorry. Ugh. This is why I like to have SVGs for y'all, but at the same time, y'all need to know how to create them for yourself. I can't be making SVGs all the time, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. I'm sorry. So let me know, Teresa, when you get it all sized. And it's taken a little longer than I expected it to, so we may come back and do a part 2 this afternoon for the arched sign. Or I may just continue, and if y'all need to hop off, you can, and then come back. But we'll figure that out in a minute. Because once we get our honeycomb sign sized on this one, it's just a matter of duplicating and then aligning them right quick, and then making our words for this one. And then sizing our B's around our words. And then cutting it out and applying it. But, okay, you're good to go. Okay. Alright, so now we got all 3 of these sized. Now let's select all 3 of them again in our layers panel, just like we did a while ago. Click on the first one, hold shift, and click on the other 2.
She's saying whenever she searched up the honeycomb, showing the one that you used on your tumblers.
Okay, so she needs to click on free.
Did you click on free?
She didn't go to upload, right? She went to images?
You went to images, right? Now upload.
So is I'm trying to get my mom caught up. Sorry, guys. Where she had the complications of hearing. So I need her to click on images.
Okay. Okay. I'm not for sure, but Mom said go to images.
And search for honeycomb.
And search for your honeycomb.
Awesome. Thanks, Teresa.
Are you trying to show me anything? Yeah, because they took it away, so we're just having to use a hexagon.
Yeah, my shape that I use is no longer free.
Yes, yeah, the shape that we used is, I guess, is no longer free, so we just had to move to a hexagon. Okay. Oh.
Did she get this shape back in?
I think she's gonna try to get the back to the honeycomb and then try to get cut. I think.
Try to get cut. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna start here. Okay. So back to the step. We're gonna highlight all 3 of our honeycomb outlines that we created. Okay. And then we're gonna duplicate those. It's gonna make us another set of 3. Just kind of put them in line. Okay. So this is what we have now. And then, instead of duplicating all 3 of them, because we don't want that bottom row to go all the way across, okay? So we're just going to duplicate these 4. So I'm going to click on the first one, and then I'm going to highlight or select just these 4 here, okay? So hold your shift and carefully select those 4. Then we're going to duplicate those 4. It's going to bring it here. And we're just going to loosely fit them across. They don't have to be exact right now. We're going to align them and all that stuff in just a second, okay? Duplicate those. We're just bringing them across. Duplicate, bring across. Duplicate, bring across. Okay? Hey, how about that? Okay, so I have 10 going across the top, and then I have 9 in the middle, and then I have the 2 bottoms on each side, okay? So this one ends up being an extra one, but I'm going to bring it down here to make that other, like this last 2 here, and I'm going to duplicate just that one to make these 2. Okay? I know it looks a little weird. We're fixing to downsize these to make them fit in our 8-inch space, but are we here? Okay, can you go grab me one of my Velvetas right quick and just open it in the hall so we don't get all the crackling in the thing. I'm gonna have him grab me a snack right quick. I'm starting to kind of get a headache. Oh, a worse headache. The sinus headache is not fun. So, Teresa, let me know when you have your honeycomb pieces going all the way across. When you have it looking like what I've got. And like I said, don't worry about exactly fitting them together. We're fixing to align them all and get them where we need them to be as far as placement. So if we've just got 10 across on the top, 9 in the center, and then our 2 on each bottom sides. Let me know when you're there. Okay. Let me finish this bite one quick sec. Okay. So now that we have them, the amount we want across the top, and all that fun stuff, now we want to select all of our honeycomb pieces. The easiest way to do this, I'm going to move these 2 pieces down for a minute. Okay. And then I'm going to select all of these. I know it like, boop, 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 boop. I know, I don't know why Cricut does that. It does it though. It's just strange. But move these 2 down, highlight these 2, and then leave your lock still locked, okay? And we're gonna make this I don't want the honeycomb pieces to go edge to edge. I want them a little bit in. So we're going to make this 7.75 inner. Okay. So move these two pieces out of the way. Just move them down a little bit. Highlight all your honeycombs and resize them to 7.75 wide. Hit enter. Okay. Okay. Once we have that done, what I want you to do now is we are going to align the top row first, okay? So we're going to select this top row of our honeycombs. We're going to go to align, and we're going to align center vertically, okay? I'll leave this selected for a second so y'all can see it before I click on it. So your whole top row of your honeycomb, select those, then go to align, and then we're going to align where it's center vertically. Okay? Click on that. And it's going to align them all straight across. Give me a thumbs up when you got that. Okay. Now, we're going to leave those highlighted, okay? We're going to go back to align, but this time we're going to go down here to where it says distribute, and we're going to distribute them horizontally. So basically, now that we've got them all in line this way, we want them to all be evenly across. We don't want to have like a big wide gap over here and a little big skinny gap over here. We want them to be even, vertically, and spaced, okay? So align and distribute horizontally. So when you do that, they're all going to go boop, 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 and they're going to space themselves perfectly out. So now all of those should look perfect. They should be all in a line, and they should have the exact same spacing between them all. Okay? Give me a thumbs up when we have that piece. Cool. Okay. So now I'm just going to move this one up just a hair so we can work with this next line and have us a little bit of spacing. So we're going to start with this first one of our middle row, and what we're going to do is we're going to get it to where it's spaced up there, to where it looks like it's about, that point is about the center of our gap on the other one, and looks like we've got about the right spacing between them. Do that with our first one, and we're going to do that with our last one. Because what this does is this gets us lined up to be able to align and center, distribute all this middle row to where it's going to line up with our top row. So get your first one in place, get your last one in place. Don't worry if the middle ones are funky. We're fixing to fix it. It's all right. So end and beginning. Get them to where the point is in the open space and they're dropped down enough to where they look like they're all in line, or all like spacing. Good spacing. Okay. Let me know when you've got both of those pieces in line. So now we're going to drag our mouse across these center pieces here. Yeah, carefully. Just go across your center pieces. Okay. Once we've got those selected, we're going to go back to align and back to center vertically. Align, center vertically. Okay, boom. It's going to drop it down. That's okay. We'll bump it back up in a second. Once you do that, again, you're going to distribute horizontally. And that's going to have them all aligned and evenly spaced. Okay, are we here? Perfect. Okay. Now with them still attached, I'm going to use my keyboard and I'm going to bump them up a little bit just by tapping the up arrow. And I'm going to get them to where I like the spacing on them between my top row and my middle row. Okay. Once we've got that, we may have to do a secondary part this afternoon, or I may continue, and if they need to hop off, they can, and then catch back up. All right, once we've got our second row in line, now we're gonna do our third one here, and we're kind of gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna move this one up, and I'm gonna move this one up. However, before we align the whole bottom here, I want to make sure that these two are, straight up and down above each other. So I'm going to select just these two end ones here, and I want to do align and center horizontally. And that moved my other one. I don't want to do that. The light's right there on my TV screen. Okay. I got it a little closer. If it's like way off to the side, move it closer, because if it's way off to the side and you select them both, it's gonna throw your top one way out of whack. So get this one a little bit closer before you do the center horizontally. If you can get it to where it's pretty close to where it should be, because we don't want to throw off the spacing in our top ones. So inner horizontal, these outside too. And now we're going to select all bottom four of these, align, and center vertically. And that way it puts them all in a straight line across, okay? So line these two outside ones together on both sides. Select these four bottom ones, align, and center vertically. Okay, are we good there? So now, the only thing with these bottom ones, you can't distribute them because there's only 4, and so it would like, I'll show you what it would do. If you distributed them this way, it's literally going to break them all the way across. We don't want that. So with this one, it's a little more of a manual adjustment, but I will say use your keyboard to adjust them instead of trying to drag them around, okay? So get these 2 inner ones to where they line up. Their points kind of line up with the center. And then we'll select them all and bump them up a little. So manually adjust these 2 inner ones to where their points line up. And then we'll adjust them all. Okay. So once those 2 are where they need to be, up and down here, now we're going to do a little bit of grouping. Okay, so I want to group this bottom 4 together. So the bottom 4, group. The center row, group. And this top row, group. So now we should have 3 groups. Okay, let me know when you are there. We've got 3 groups of honeycombs. Group your bottom row, your center row, and your top row together. Okay. So now we're going to highlight all 3 of those groups. Go to Align. And now we want to distribute vertically. That way we know for sure there is an even amount of spacing between all 3 rows. Okay? Once you do that, I want you to click Attach on these. We want these to stay exactly where they are. We didn't take all this time to get them where they are for them to go moving around whenever we go to cut, okay? So once you've got them all distributed, click Attach to keep them puppies together. Once we got those attached, then we're going to move this guy back up here. And that is the biggest base part of our sign. Okay. Are we here? Give me a thumbs up, excuse me, when we're at this spot. Got our honeycomb attached, or aligned and attached, and our sign kind of overlapping back together. So next we're going to insert our text. So I'm going to click on text again, just like we did a while ago. Where did my text go? Oh, it's like way down here. Okay, I had to scroll down. I don't know why it popped it to the bottom of my screen. But for this one, instead of Hello Summer again, because I already have one exactly like that says Hello Summer, I'm going to do Be Happy. And I am, because this one I do want it centered, so I'm just going to leave it together. I typed my B, and then I hit enter and typed my happy, my word. If yours did what mine did, I'm just going to bring it back to the top so we can see everything together. That is so strange that it bumped it all the way down to the bottom of my screen. So type out whatever you want your wording to say, bring your wording up top, and then we're going to size it. Be happy. I think that's about where I want mine, and I think that's the size that I want mine. So get your wording, get it on top of your sign, get it sized to the size that you would like it to be, and then give me a thumbs up. Let me know when you got your wording and you got it sized to whatever size you want it to be on your board. Awesome. Okay. So now the only thing really left to do on this one for designing it is to get our bees where we want them and how big we want them. So to me that's a little too big for my taste. So I'm going to go make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to duplicate it. And for this one, I want it to face the other direction. So I'm going to say flip and flip horizontally. That way it'll directly flip it and my little bee on this side can be flying the other direction. And then, let's see, I think I want it right there. And then for my bottom one, we're going to duplicate. I'm going to bring another one here. But for him, I don't really want to exactly flip it, but I don't want it going the same direction. So I'm going to grab it where my little like curved arrows come up, and we're going to make him a little less curved, but still kind of in that same kind of general area. And we're going to duplicate him. And this time I think I want one more in the bottom. I'm going to flip him and put him down there. So, there we go. Get your bees sized. Get your bees sized. However you want them to be, however many you want them to be, and going in whichever direction. The direction doesn't so much matter right now because when you put them on your board, you're going to be able to, of course, apply them whatever direction you want. But for me, I'm a visual person, so I like to see where I plan on putting them on my board, because when I'm putting my board together, I will come back to the screen and look at them and kind of line them up and angle them about like what I've got on my screen. So when you've got your bees on there and you're happy with placement, give me a thumbs up, let me know. I think actually I'm going to move this little guy down here. I think I like him better down there. Give me a thumbs up when you have your bees sized and you're ready. Perfect. All right. So now for this one, we're ready to cut this one. So we're just gonna hide this white square. Go ahead and hide that because we don't need to cut that out. And then save and save again. Now we're gonna hit make on this one. Now, I put my gold on the back of my board because I didn't want where they overlap, I didn't want it to have a weird like hump in my letters and my bees and stuff, so I put my gold on the back. If you want to put your gold on the back as well, you need to make sure and mirror this gold layer. So go down to your honey drip layer and hit mirror like you would if it were HTV. I know this isn't HTV, but since we're putting it on the back side, we need it to be mirrored so it still looks like our design that we've created in our Cricut design space, okay? So I screwed up and forgot to mirror, so don't forget to mirror your gold piece. The rest of it should be good to go. Let's see. Oh, it did that weird thing again on my text color. Okay, so I want on my sign here, my honeycomb pieces and my text is the same cinnamon glitter color. And I'm going to do that again, and then my black on my bees is just black. So I'm going to change my honeycomb and my wording to be the same color. I'm just going to do like a brown. There we go. That way they go to the same mat. Now then we'll save that again and we'll cut. There we go. Mirror our honey layer again. So you should have the black parts of your bees. You should have your word and your honeycomb. You should have your honey drip. And you should have the yellow part of your bees. Let me see if I can't rearrange this a little bit to fit a little bit better and not waste so much vinyl. Not so much. I don't know that that's any better, actually. try not to waste so much of my vinyl here. And we'll just there we go. Kind of scoot it around like that so it's not so far down here. So, all right, now we are ready to cut. If you are using a glitter vinyl, make sure that you turn your dial to custom and choose glitter adhesive vinyl when, or glitter vinyl, I think is what it's called. They don't really say adhesive, they just call vinyl and iron-on. But when you cut your glitter layer, if you're using glitter, make sure to adjust your machine settings for that layer. So, is everybody following along and ready to cut? Let me know. Yeah, thumbs up if you're ready to cut. Yeah, you can go ahead and go to lunch. It's okay. It's taken a little bit longer than I expected it to, but yeah, go ahead and go to lunch. I'll be good. Love you too. Alright, are we ready to cut? Let me know. Thumbs up if we're ready. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Cool. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll get cutting. And then we'll get it together. And then I'll show you how to make the sign, or the stand, for these. And then we'll discuss from there what we want to do. Alright, so my first layer is my black. And let's see here. Maybe if I can use some of this scrap piece to get these pieces on here. So 1, 2, I've got 3 full inches. And I got 2 inches. So come over to the 2-inch mark. And then I've got some on there. I am just rearranging mine to fit on this scrap piece of vinyl that I have. If you're using a full sheet and you can cut them exactly where they are, just leave it and do it that way. I'm just trying to use some scraps. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get my vinyl pieces laid out to the ones I need. And then it's going to be my gold. And then it'll be my yellow. my dial over to custom because I am going to use this glitter adhesive for my words and my honeycomb. So you can see that it is asking me to choose my material. I already have mine set as a favorite, so I don't have to browse all materials. If you don't browse all materials right here, you can just scroll through, go down to vinyl, and then choose glitter vinyl. And while my machine is cutting the other pieces, I'm going to go ahead and start weeding out the ones that are cut so we can save a little time. So as they get cut, go ahead and weed them out while your next mat is cutting. I'll go ahead and switch to the overhead camera so y'all can see what I'm doing. But I literally, so far I've just weeded my black from around the outside. And now I am weeding these pieces. Weed it out so that way when we do our yellow it fits in nicely. Anything. What color did you make the honeycomb outline? I am doing it the brown glitter adhesive vinyl that I have. It's called Cinnamon, but it's just like a darker brown glitter adhesive vinyl. That's what I'm using for my honeycomb outline and my words. And then my honey, the drip, is gold. Here's a small piece of what I'm using for my honeycomb outline. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but that's what I'm using. Yeah, here's the full sheet of it. It's just a dark brown glitter adhesive. inches. Yes, perfect. I want to make sure I wasn't gonna mess anything up. Change this back to vinyl. So my gold vinyl is just a 651. Wording off, and then I will cut my honeycomb off this other side here. And my good scrap piece there. I'm actually going to go ahead and cut off this corner too because there's nothing on it, so that would be a piece we can use for something else. Letters, and then I will change my mat out. That to the side for a second. I'll put my yellow on. I'm going to rearrange my yellow also to fit where I have used this piece to cut the other bees the other day. I'm going to edit. And then we're going to start right before the 4-inch mark. And move them all over. Leave a little bit of space between them so I can cut them apart easier. I'm going to grab my other weeding tool. I'll be right back. Alright. I'm going to get a different weeding tool for all these little pieces because I did break that tip off of this other one somehow, and it is not holding. There we go. That's how I need it to grab. Okay. When you're weeding your honeycomb pieces, make sure that you don't pull up any of the outlines. Make sure they all stay down and in place. I want those to be exactly where we lined them up. That's why we took the time to get them exactly, exactly where we needed them. What happened? Uh-oh. I don't know what happened, but I cut off one of my honeycombs got cut off. Oh well, we'll figure it out in a minute. Right now, we're just gonna roll with it and read what we got. Full 12-inch piece, so it's all good. I'm going to go ahead and just remove this one. Y'all leave yours on there. But since my piece wasn't a full 12 inches wide, it cut off just a little bit. That's okay. We're going to roll with it because that's what we do. There. That away. these little yellow bead pieces, because there's a lot of small pieces, I like to cut mine apart and then weed them individually. That way I can just keep an eye on all the little pieces and make sure that they are going to all stay in place where I need them, and I don't accidentally throw something away that I need. My gold. Now, if you are wanting to put something on the back side like I am right now, make sure you're using a vinyl that is the same color front and back. The Oracle 651 is the same color on the front and the back. But if you're using something like my glitter, like the glitter that I use, it's not the same color on the back. On the back side, see how it's the brown glitter? It's silver on the back. So if you're applying something to the back of your board that you want to show on the front, make sure you're using a vinyl that is the same color both front and back. Sorry about that. All those little pieces off my fingers. I'll leave this out because I'm going to need all this. Chop that off of the side. So let me know when you've got all your pieces weeded out. And then while we wait, I'm gonna go ahead and get my hot glue gun plugged up and turned on. Once you've finished weeding all yours out, go ahead and get your hot glue gun out and turned on, so it can be warming up while we put our sign together, so we can make our stand. Finished cutting the first one, running a little bit behind. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Give me another piece of Velveeta. Mom, if you're able to, let me know if you're doing okay. If you can comment or give me a thumbs up or something, just let me know if you can. And while we're talking about this, we're doing a Cricut class. Next month's Cricut class, we will be doing some faux leather projects. If you have faux leather sheets, that's great. If you don't, I would suggest getting some. I have purchased a couple of different packs on Amazon that I was testing out, and I do like a couple of the ones that I got. So I will share those links also in a bit after we get off of here. But just so y'all know, we will need some faux leather sheets for next month, and then keychain hardware, some magnetic bookmarks, and then you'll need a fabric glue. You can use, if you have the 3-in-1 craft glue that I've used before, you can use it. I'm going to be using a fabric tack. It's called Fabri-Tac. It's a glue by the same company that makes the 3-in-1, and it's specifically made for fabric, so it adheres and holds a little differently. But if you aren't able to find it or can't get it or whatever, then that's okay. You can use the 3-in-1 if you have it, but I just prefer the Fabri-Tac. So that'll be kind of a heads up for you guys for next month, but I will make a post on it and all that fun stuff. So just let me know how you're doing. Yes, doing good. Awesome, Mom. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And hopefully, Mama, with the iPad next time, it'll be easier. We'll kind of do a test run for you. Sorry, still cutting. That's okay. I know, Teresa, I know you're cutting yours and Mia's out, so it's okay. Just kind of let me know. And if you want to, we can kind of bounce back and forth between assembling one and, while you're cutting the other one out too. Just let me know what you want to do. If we want to start assembling the first one while your other one cuts out, or if you want to wait until the second one's cut out. Let me know. Just eating my Belvita right quick. They're cutting together. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, cool. That works. That works. Just weed as you go or as they're done cutting, and that way it'll be even quicker. Yeah, I think so too, Mama. I think it will be much better. And then I can also show you the stand. That would be good for it, so that way it's just always in the stand and it's up and you don't have to worry about another stand. I don't know if you have a stand or not. Probably not for a tablet, but we'll get you set up before next weekend. the stand that I use. It holds my iPad nice, and it's got, you know, it's up to where I can see it. It's not right at the table, and it doesn't pinch the charging cord and stuff either, so. Oh, we lost somebody. Somebody fell off. I hope y'all don't mind me snacking. I know y'all know my situation, but anybody watching the replay, I had the gastric sleeve surgery 2.5 years ago now, which is crazy to think. So I can't eat as much at one time, so I have to kind of snack throughout the day. So I apologize. I hope y'all don't mind. But it keeps me from getting shaky and a headache. All I need to do is cut the yellow of the bees and be done. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. I can smell my hot glue gun. It's definitely warm. And those don't typically take very long to cut, so we should be good in just a minute. Kind of start rearranging my stuff. To get ready. And we're gonna start by putting our honey drip on the back of our board. That will be our first step after we remove, again, the protective things on both front and back. Most of the time your acrylic pieces do come with that protective coating on the front and back, some sort of a liner that you pull away or something like that, just to keep them from getting all scratched up. So if you buy acrylic pieces, whether it's from Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree or wherever you got yours from, Amazon, whatever, typically they do come with a protective cover on them. Even the acrylic blanks we sell here in the store, when I cut them, we leave the acrylic blank protective cover on. That way they don't get scratched up on the shelves. So, sorry about that. Make sure you remove that protective cover off of your blank. And then when you are ready, let me know, and we will start by applying our honey drip to the back. And just remove one at a time. I left my front cover on and just removed my back cover. Alright, I think I saw a thumbs up. So, we're going to grab our honey drip and our transfer tape and put our transfer tape over our honey drip. You know what, before, I should have cut this before I did that. If you can pull it back, great. If not, it's not the end of the world. But I did take on the first one I did, and I cut right across the top of my honey drip. And then down the sides, just a tiny bit. Just as close as you can. Try not to cut your vinyl because you don't want a gouge cut out of it, but get to where we can line it up. Just cut some off of there. I just got it trimmed up like that. So cut the top of the paper backing off and then each side. That way when we go to line it up, then we can see where we're lining it up on our board. Squeegee on the front, squeegee on the back. And then I'm going to go ahead and get it to where it's stuck to the transfer tape, but don't throw away this paper backing, just because we want to keep that on here so we can get it lined up, okay? So I'm just carefully removing it and then lightly placing it back so we can line it up. Okay, if you need to watch this step first, that's fine. You can watch me and then I'll hang tight while you place yours, and then we'll move to the next step. So what we want to do is, with those cut corners, we're just going to line it up, make sure it lines up, and then I'm going to stick my transfer tape to my board so that this piece doesn't move. And then you can just carefully lift this part up. Make sure you don't completely pull your transfer tape off your board. I really probably need to get a different piece of transfer tape because this one is not very sticky anymore. Okay. I'll remove my paper backing. Set that back down. And now when we apply it, it goes right back to where we lined it up. Okay. And go ahead and squeegee that. And carefully remove your transfer tape. Just like that. Okay, so with your cut edges, line it up to where it's nice and square on there. Have your transfer tape hold this part in place, lift it up, squeegee it off. Okay? And it's okay if you get some bubbles. Really don't freak out about the bubbles. I know a lot of people get really upset because when they apply it, it has some bubbles in it and they don't want to see the bubbles, but at least the 650 would. It expands and contracts some as it gets to room temperature and gets adhered to your board, and most of those bubbles, unless they're huge, will work themselves out. Give it just a couple of days. Like mine, I have a big one that I didn't notice right here, and you can see it on the front. So I will take, now that this has been a week, I will take my bubble popping pen, and if you don't have a bubble popping pen, just like a straight pen or something, just poke a little bitty hole and push that air out of there. But really I wouldn't do that until it's had time to breathe for a couple of days, and then worry about any holes that are left. Alright, do we have our honey drip on? Give me a thumbs up if you do. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the front. So turn your board over. Remove the protective film from this side. Okay. And now I'm gonna kind of do the same thing with my honeycombs. Pretend there's one up here. I didn't realize that my vinyl wasn't 12 inches. But we're just gonna cut straight up the side of our honeycombs. And then just get, you know, a decent enough straight across the top. I know it's kind of hard to cut straight across on a surface that doesn't really have anything to follow, but if we can just get a good idea of where our sides and our top is what what we're looking for. And then we're going to put our transfer tape on here. A good squeegee on the front and a good squeegee on the back. And then again, if you need to watch any of these steps, which I kind of recommend, then you can apply yours. That's what I would say would work best. So I made sure that my honeycomb was stuck to my transfer tape, and then I'm just loosely putting my paper backing on. Move that guy out of the way. Okay. So with our paper backing on the back of our honeycomb, we're going to just carefully align it on here. It looks pretty even to me side to side and on the top. Again, I'm going to leave my transfer tape stuck to my board. I'm going to lift this piece up. Carefully remove this backing. Carefully remove the backing off. And then again, smooth that on, okay? And then remove your transfer tape. So now we're there. Let me know when you're done with that step. And just pretend I've got one up here in this top corner. It's the one that cut off. I didn't realize it. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. part, which is going to be our words. Go ahead and move on, still weeding. Oh, okay. All right. We're just going to do the same kind of thing here. We're going to trim up just to give us an idea of where they are. We're going to get our transfer tape on them. Carefully remove that, lay it down lightly. There we go. And then it's just a lot of the same thing. So it's just kind of referring back to, I'm going to go back to my Cricut screen. Kind of referring back to where I had it. Down a little bit. Kind of right in there, I think, yeah. So just kind of referring back to where you have it on your Cricut Design Space screen, and adjusting, you know, aligning where you want them, getting it in place. And that transfer tape, hold your spot. And then applying it on. Go ahead and cut the black parts of my bees out right quick, or apart, I guess, not out, but apart. All right. So now we got to put our bees together. So I'm just going to take a piece of transfer tape. Put this up here so I don't knock it off my table. I'm just going to take a corner of my transfer tape here, and I'm going to attach these yellow pieces to it. Just like we did a while ago, and we're going to carefully align. Oh no, don't do that. Kind of static clung, but at least it didn't stick, so. And carefully align them in here. Oh man, okay, let's see here. This little piece did move on me. Grab my weeding tool. Maneuver it back into place before I stick it down. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. And then once I've got them together, sorry if y'all hear our store door going off. We have a little girl playing with our door. Alright, so then I'm going to refer back to my design space screen as far as where and how I kind of want to angle and place these. And get them placed. Let's see, so this one's kind of right here. And get them placed on my board. This piece of transfer tape will probably go in the trash when I get done because it's not one to stay. Alright, so then my next bee, kind of down here. And if you want to change your mind while you're putting them on your board, that's okay too. They don't have to be exactly where you put them on your screen. Just apply them wherever you want them to be. Squeegee this on here and get it to stay on the transfer tape. I'm gonna leave my transfer tape stuck to my little mat here and kind of line up my bee this way, because my little black part of my bee wanted to like static cling move. I got it all out of line. That's still kind of dead. Oh, darn it. Come back. The only bad thing about the little pieces is that they like to cling together. Like the black piece wants to static up to my yellow pieces, and it wants to stick before I'm ready for it to stick. Let's see here. See if I can maybe lay something down to hold it in place. Worked a little better. This last one, I'm going to try to apply the black piece to my board and then put the yellow piece in, so that way it's connected and it won't like static cling up. This one I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try to fit the black part on my transfer tape. Then we're going to apply that to the board and then put our yellow pieces in that way, because I think it'll be a little easier, because it won't want to static cling up to our yellow piece. So I'm going to try that. Piece on the transfer tape. I think that worked a little better. That way, I didn't want to cling back up to what we were doing. And there we go. There's our sign. Show a glare. How's it going? Get that squeegee down very good, but it'll be all right. Let me know how it's going. How's everybody doing? Are we still hanging in there? Are we still weeding? Are we applying? What we doing? Let me know. After this, I'm going to show y'all how I made the stands for these since they don't come with stands. And then I'm going to show you how to make the shape for the arch, and then I'm going to let y'all design whatever you want for your arch. That way we don't take all day, but at least it shows you how to make the shape to make that project. Let me know how you're doing. We're applying the words now. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good, sounds good. piece of gold stuck to my finger. I'll give you another minute, and then I'm gonna finish my Velveeta that I'm eating here, and then I'll move to how to make the stand, but it'll give you a few more minutes to apply your bees. I'm going to show you how I made the stand today too. I could not find one of the decoratives, the decorative pieces like I did for this one. But you make all the stands the same way. So I'm going to use this chunky piece that I have already. But this decorative piece here, it's perfect size for this board going this way. So you just kind of center your board on and put it where you want it. So if you have your decorative one, I know a lot of you were able to find these. It's the same basis. You literally just find your center of your board, and that's where we're going to put our pieces. I'll leave that one right there for a second. And then the same on this one. It's longer, so it displays the boards that are going to go this way. So if you have your board going long ways, this one was a wider, longer piece of wood that would hold it all the way across, and it won't be sticking out over the edges. But they're all made the same way. It's just you figuring out the center of your board and then putting them on. So these again are the wood craft cubes. It comes in a package of 36. I got these from the Dollar Tree, same place I got these wood pieces. And for the tall one, I just did 3 in the front and 3 in the back. You can do a whole solid row of them if you want to. You can do 4. You can do however many you want to do. That part is totally up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, perfect. So what I did to make my stand, I took my board and I put my board where I saw center was. And then I used my little wooden blocks, and I put one in the front and one in the back. One in the front, one in the back. And again, one in the front, one in the back. And just kind of evenly spaced them out. Kind of like that. Over a little bit. And then what I did was I held this side, my left side, in place while I glued my right side. So that way my board doesn't move and wobble. I held that in place. I moved this block. Let me scoot it up a little bit more. Alright, there we go. So I got it in the center. I put my blocks where I wanted them. Okay. And then I'm going to hold this side, hold both blocks on this side. And I'm going to remove this front one. I'm going to use my hot glue gun. And I'm going to put just a dab of glue, not a lot, because you don't want it to squish out from underneath your block. But just a dot of glue. And then put your piece down. And while it was setting, I kind of held both of them in place on that side. Let that set for a minute, and then I did the same thing to the back. Trying to get it to where y'all can see and I can see. my block back down. And you can see through your acrylic piece at this point, so that way you know that they're lined up. Okay. Now with those two in place, I did the same thing on this other side. So I moved that one. And I'm still kind of holding on to that back block. It's not going to move at this point, but I'm just kind of holding on to it. Just want it to stay in place because I want this front one to match up with where it is front to back. Okay, hold that one in place for a second. Oh, we got too much on the outside of that one. Okay, and then you just do the same thing with your centerpieces. You can put it on here too if you want to. That's up to you. I found it easier with me holding the board in place. I found it easier to have that other, hand holding. So these middle ones, you can pick up the blocks and put it on the bottom of the block and then put your block back in. But whenever you are doing the end ones, you need your other hand here, so it was easier just to put the wood on the board. So, kind of got a little out, trying to look opposite, but either which way, that's how you made, or how I made the stands. So I've got your blocks on the front and the back, and by putting the board in there and holding them in place, you know your board fits in and out because it was made with that board in place. And you can paint these, you don't have to leave them raw. You could paint them, spray paint them, maybe even easier, because you don't want to gunk a bunch of paint in between your blocks on the inside here, because if you get too much paint, then you're not going to have enough space for your acrylic board to slide down in. So just keep that in mind when you're painting them. If you decide to paint them, that spray paint may be easier because it's a lot thinner of a coat, and you don't have to worry about it getting gunked up in between the two. So that's how I made my stand. Pretty simple, straightforward. If you have those little tools that make the little, the little thing like this one has, where it's cut down the center to where this just sits in there, that's great. And they had these thicker boards for that at the Dollar Tree, but I don't have one of those. So I had to come up with a way with what I do have to make a stand for us. So there's what that looks like. And like I said, on this one, I did 4 across, made it a little longer for it to sit long ways instead of tall. Some of this moved out of the way. So there's that one. Actually, I need to fix this one right quick because I picked it up wrong and I messed up my block right here. Accidentally pulled it or broke it off. We don't want that. So I'm just going to glue this one back right quick. Put this back in so I know my thickness. There we go. Move some of this stuff around so y'all can kind of see what I got going on for today. Go ahead and unplug my hot glue gun so it can cool down. And then before we get done, before I get off of here, I'm going to show y'all how to create the shape for this guy. And then y'all can design or decorate or put whatever you want to on it. Now that you know how to design on the shapes. How is it going? Did we get our Be Happies together? Are we trying to build our stands? What are we working on? Kind of put one of these behind each of these so you can see maybe a little bit better on the camera. Yeah, there we go. You're good to go. We're going to have to get off here and finish watching later. Sorry. Not a problem. Not a problem. It kind of ran a little longer than I was wanting it to. I think just because we had some technical issues. But really all that's left is I'm going to show how to design the shape on the Cricut Design Space. And then y'all can decorate it whenever you are ready. Design it however you want to. So it's just going to be a few minutes anyway. And then I'll be getting off as well so I can eat lunch. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with that then. Get some stuff out of the way. Go back to my design space. Get my keyboard back over here. All right. Go back to Cricut. Okay. So here is where we're at now. I'm going to do the same thing we did a while ago. I'm just going to group all of this together. Well, let me bring my white. There we go. I group all this together so it stays together. And then I'm going to hide that. Now, you have to think of shapes when you're doing something that is really two shapes together. It's a square with a half circle on the top. So just kind of think of things that are not an exact shape like that. Think of the shapes that make up this one shape. So I'm going to put a square and I'm going to put a half circle in here. This half circle is going the wrong way. So I'm going to rotate it just like we did a while ago with our honeycomb. I'm going to go 90 degrees. This one is 2 inches wide. So I'm going to make this one 2 inches wide. Okay, so we have our half circle at 2 inches. We have our square at 2 inches. So then when we put them together, then you can see where it makes this shape. So now it's just a matter of sizing it. First, we're going to align them here. Do center horizontally. And then whenever I measure this, this is 5 inches across. So 5 inches across, so that's what we're going to make our thing here. Wide, 5 inches. Okay, and then whenever we go top to bottom, it actually measures 7 inches, and you can see these two together are 7.5. So we're just going to unlock 7, enter, and then there we are. We are sized at a 5 by 7. We have our arch, we have our squared, shape at the bottom, and then it's ready. The only thing I would say is these two here, you can either group them together or you can weld them, and you could weld them, but unite. I love that they made this unite feature because you can actually undo the unite now instead of the welding where you couldn't undo the weld. So I would recommend doing the unite. turning that white, and now you can design whatever you want to on the arch. So that's how you make that shape. If you have any questions, let me know. I appreciate y'all joining me today. I hope y'all had fun. I know there was some technical stuff going on, so I know it took a little longer. I'm sorry than I expected it to, but if y'all have any questions, let me know. You can also comment in the video. Like I said, use #replay so I know it's a question that I need to answer. And y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.